Okay, so we're going to talk about the Beis HaMikdash for the next couple of times because it's obviously proper thing to talk about during 3 weeks and 9 days. So the picture you have in front of you is actually, it threw me for a loop the first time I saw it because it's not the normal way in which the Beis HaMikdash, the Har HaBayis is pictured. But it shows from the north as opposed to usually from the west or from the south. So, but let's use it's a good diagram to use. So let's use it. So
I have like a puzzle wooden 3D sculpt thing, but I don't think it's not of this.
It's not this. Again, no. Well, obviously there's certain things we don't know what to look like because everybody's going to draw them differently. So these two stairways on this side were the main entrance into the Beis HaMikdash, and they went to Shar Chuda. Shar Chuda is one second. I'll get to it in a second. So the Shar Chuda, the gates called the Shar Chuda were opened into this from the south. And they're called Chulda for one of two reasons, perhaps for both reasons. Chulda means a mole, a creature that lives underground. So these steps came from underground. In other words, they were not out in the open, they were covered. And therefore they were called the Shar Chulda because they led to these covered steps. And another reason is because there was a Neviah, one of the female Nevi'im from the time of Beis Rishon, who used to sit outside these gates and prophesy that Yerushalayim is going to be destroyed. So therefore, they named the gates in her honor because she used to sit there. Now, when you came in to this area over here...
She in Tanakh?
She in Tanakh, yes. She's the Sefer Melachim. She doesn't have her own...
Oh! Chilki and Chulda.
Yeah.
Right. Like the ones who found the Torah?
Yes. Okay. Do you learn that in school?
No.
Okay, but yes, the Chulda type of culture, yes. So the what's called here the court of the Gentiles doesn't mean that Gentiles actually stood there, but the Gentiles were allowed to be there. They were allowed to come up to this fence over here, which is called the Soreg, which went all around the inner Beis HaMikdash, and up to that they're allowed to stand there. They were not allowed to go further. Also, somebody who's Tomei, Tumas Meis, is allowed up to there. He's also allowed to go a little bit further inside. He's not allowed to go into the Azor itself, but they're allowed to go past, so they're allowed to go a little bit further than that. But the non-Jew has to stop over here outside that fence over there. The Greeks made 13 holes in those fences because they didn't like those fences because those fences kept them out. So after they reconquered the Beis HaMikdash in the times of the Maccabim, they kept those 13 openings intact.
Was it like a barrier where it was a nace that they weren't able to come in, or was just like, okay, like it's the rule, you can't come past, and they just knew?
It was a real fence. It was a fence.
No, but I'm saying was it there has to be an entryway somewhere? So were they was it a barrier that wouldn't allow non-Jews in, or was it just a fence? Don't come past.
Well, a low fence which has 13 openings, which people would come.
Is this a Jewish illustration?
I don't know if it's a Jewish illustration, but it's close enough. So we'll see a more Jewish illustration later on. So so people come in here, and if you're a non-Jew, you'd stay outside this little fence. Here,
well, isn't that what Herod made? He made a place where they can go.
That's later. That's this area over here, the second floor, the viewing area. Okay, we'll get to that later. So over here is the Antonia Fortress. And this is built by the Romans to demonstrate that they were supreme and that they were the ultimate authority in the land of Israel. So this fortress was higher than and looked down into the Beis HaMikdash. So this is obviously always a sore point with the Jews that have the Roman fortress so nearby. According to this depiction, it actually stretched into the area of the Beis HaMikdash, I don't recall that. I'm not sure if other pictures are going to come out like that. But at the time when the Churban took place, we saw earlier that 7th grade we saw this year that there were tremendous battles which raged back and forth in the Tamina fortress there on the north side of the Azara. Now, the Beis HaMikdash, it's the Azara, which is the inner courtyard, is placed over here only because everything is based on where the Dome of the Rock is. We don't actually know where it was. So, let me see. I'm taking up my next picture, but see.
Rabbi,
Yeah.
are you coming back to IBH next year?
What?
Are you coming back to IBH next year?
As of today, yes.
Are you starting yeshiva? My mother told me.
No, it was just a dream.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah. There's this picture which I'm going to open now. What's going on here?
Why don't you? You definitely could.
I don't have the money. I don't have the students. It takes a lot of money.
Well, Tzvi would be a student.
What?
Tzvi would be one of your students.
That's one, yes.
You're guaranteed a student.
Okay, one is not enough to start yeshiva. You need at least 10.
Oh.
Anyways, this is
Didn't like Rabbi Akiva or something? Didn't he start at one with like 3 people or whatever?
there is one. Yes, that is correct, but it's not
So
sustainable.
why can't you?
Because you have to have a minyan for davening, otherwise it's not going to work.
Rabbi, did you hear about the yeshiva opening Paramus?
Non-premise, it's 10
Or Yisrael? Oh, yeah. 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So this is a picture of the inside of the Dome of the Rock. The Dome of the Rock is at the top. Is now in the center of the Har Bayis. If you see the Har Bayis, this is the thing which has a golden dome, and this is what most people think is the Emin Shasiya. Now, obviously, it didn't necessarily.
I don't see anything.
Oh, 1 second.
I see a blank blue screen.
Now, do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this
I've seen that picture before.
So this obviously it's a very strange shape, and we don't know if it was actually shaped that way.
How would the Aron fit on that?
Exactly. It was probably destroyed a few times, but it's such a huge stone that it wasn't completely destroyed. Some people believe, a minority of archaeologists, that
Don't like the Arabs say that they have it?
the Arabs do have it. It's in the Dome of the Rock. You familiar with the Dome of the Rock? The big dome in the middle of the Har Bayis, which you see with the gold dome. You know what I'm talking about?
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the inside of it. This
So
is
there's the rock?
It's a mosque. It's not a mosque. They don't pray there. It's just a place which holds the rock.
Only Muslims can go into the actual mosque.
What?
Like the actual isn't that's where they say Muhammad went up to heaven?
Yes, from this rock, Muhammad went up to heaven. And they also say that all souls have to go through this place when they die and go up to be judged. So the Muslims say. But some people say actually, and I don't think it's so far-fetched, that because of the shape of the stone and it's huge, how huge it is, that it wasn't actually the Evan Shasiya, which is the Kodesh Kodashim, but it was the Mizbeach. It was the base of the Mizbeach. And you see here, there are holes, in the stone. And we know in the Mizbeach, there are holes for the Nisuch Hayayin and Nisuch Hamayim to go down, for the wine and the oil that they put up.
So they're saying that was the base. That was the base.
That's the other opinion. It's either the Evan Shasiya or it's the base of the Mizbeach.
But how could they disprove the Mizbeach one if it's pretty obvious? Like it has all like the symbols it needs. It has the holes for the water and wine and stuff, and it's relatively the right shape.
Right. It's a valid point. That's why scholars.
It's not the greatest picture.
If you hold that this is the Evan Shasiyah, which is, I'm saying, this is the Mizbeach. There's another structure, which I have to find here.
Wait, how big is the stone?
What?
How big is the stone?
It's huge. Let's find out.
But it can't possibly have been where the Beis HaMikdash was because it's elevated off the ground. It's in the dome.
It was, so what?
So they had to have
We
taken
don't
it
know
off the
how
ground.
high the Beis HaMikdash was sitting on. It could have been the Azor was built very high up. Remember, the Romans lowered the level of the Beis HaMikdash.
Yeah, but that can't be where it is because
What?
I'm confused now. I don't know.
What do you
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Just keep going.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's see what the dimensions are for the Dome of the Rock. It's a very good question. Dimensions. Dome of the Rock.
Well, that might be the actual dome, not the rock.
Okay. This tells you, this gives me the dimensions of the dome. Let's see. We can get dimensions of the rock itself. Bear in mind, the Mizbeach was 30 amos by about 30 amos by 30 amos, which would be, depending on which size of the an amma we use, would be the 45 feet by 45 feet or 60 feet by 60 feet. Okay, so the foundation stone. I should show you this article, so let me share the screen. Okay, which screen are you seeing now? You seeing the Wikipedia
We
piece?
see it, but
It's like the letters, unless it's like some different language, they don't look like English. They're very like.
Oh no, I can see it says description, but I can't see anything.
Yeah.
How can you see it? I made it
Rock.
Yeah, it's better, but it's still kind of blurry.
Okay.
It's that's better.
That's good.
Now we can see it.
Okay, so the here she brings down the opinions. Modern Jewish academics is four possible locations of the foundation stone. The stone that was located below beneath the Ark of Covenant is the one under the Dome of the Rock. That's this assumption. Stone that was located beneath the altar is now the one that's under the Dome of the Rock. In which case, this is not the Evan Shasiyah. Stone that was located beneath the Ark of the Covenant is now near the Al-Qas fountain to the south of the Dome of the Rock. The stone located beneath the Ark of the Covenant is now outside the Spirit's Dome, situated to the north of the Dome of the Rock. So, the rock has several artificial cuts, which demonstrate attributed to the Crusaders. Okay, I didn't know that. And there are sections of the rock which are cut completely flat, which have.
Wait, is that what Herod did?
What?
He flattened the mountain or the rock?
No. Herod built up the mountain. The Romans knocked it down. He says at the position of the hypothetical center is a rectangular cut in the rock that's about 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide, which are the dimensions of the Ark of Covenant.
One or the other.
I'm not sure where we see that in the picture.
But which one? So how much is a cubit? How many feet?
It doesn't say here.
No, but I'm saying how it says cubic, like 1 cubit or whatever, but how many feet is a cubit?
It's either 1.5 feet or 2 feet.
Oh, so it's very small.
Yeah. Let's see what it says here. Here it says minimum of 120 centimeters is 2.5 cubits. 2.5 cubits, 2.5 ounces, which would be 15 tfachim. 15 tfachim would be, let's say, is 120 centimeters. That means each tefach is about 10 centimeters, which is it's about the shear of it's about the shear of 1.5 feet. Okay, so
which is very small,
yeah,
considering it's such a big deal.
yeah. So if you look, I don't know where the it says here, measure the flat surface of position southern wall of the south square enclosure, west and north sides of which are formed by little clean cut scarp of these edge rocks. The position hypothetical center is a rectangular cut, and the rock is about 2.5 cubits long. Let's look back at the picture. This is the south, and this is the north. So measuring halfway through, you should see a cut which looks like the Aron. I don't see it, but let's enlarge the picture. They would have to face, I think they're probably referring, the Aron would be facing east-west. So the length would be this way and the width would be this way. So one of these things they're saying is like the length and width of the Aron. I don't see what they're referring to.
What's that a picture of?
This is the rock, the way it looks like today.
No, I'm saying it looks like a human figure or something.
There. What part of the picture?
Like the part that your mouse is on right now.
Oh, it's part. No, I'm saying part that. I don't know what that is supposed to be. It's not even a figure. It's all part.
Why is there a huge hole?
So they either that was put there that was part of the Mizbeach, or they say that Crusaders dug holes underneath.
Some people don't think it was even the actual foundation stone.
Sorry?
Some people don't think it's the actual foundation stone.
They don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the getting back to the article here. I'm not sure. Doesn't we're trying to find the dimensions. Doesn't actually, I can't find actually the dimensions.
It's gonna be weird because it's not a perfect.
Did it?
shape.
Yeah, it's like a half of a circle in a weird way.
Right. So they say in this article that the Crusaders, when they came to Yerushalayim, they chipped off pieces. So
Like on purpose, or they just did it because they weren't paying attention.
As souvenirs.
Oh.
Let's find the spirits. There.
Out of all things that you're gonna take that.
Why? It's supposed to be holy, but it's like the holiest place on earth according to the Muslims. So it's like,
I know, but why would they care about that? Wouldn't they care more about the gold and the copper and the silver?
Yeah, of course they took that too. This is just a souvenir.
Okay.
Okay, so the
Muslims didn't. Wait, what are you talking about?
When the Crusaders conquered Yerushalayim, so they took they took away souvenirs, and the souvenirs.
But isn't the Mizbeach square?
Yes, but if you chipped it away over time, that might be what was left, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess that explains the not such straight lines.
So let's switch now to sharing.
And when Mashiach comes, is that going to be the rock that we're going to use?
No.
Even if it wouldn't fit?
I'll give you another. Look at this.
Could a regular person build the Mizbeach, like be a worker there?
I think did they make one? Oh, wait, build it?
Yeah, could a regular person build it?
I think like Machon HaMikdash or something.
Until it's made kadosh, anybody can build it.
No, I thought you're not allowed to I don't know what to say.
Workmen are allowed to build inside the Beis HaMikdash if necessary, even though normally they're not allowed to go in. Only Kohanim, if they need to do work.
What is this?
This is the dome of the spirits. This is the other alternative for the Evan Shasia. If the one inside Dome of the Rock is the Mizbeach, see, you see in the background the Dome of the Rock? Yeah. Okay, so if the one in the Mizbeach, if one in here is the Mizbeach, then this would be the Evan Shasia.
Are Jews allowed to go there?
You're not allowed to go in any of these places, no.
But aren't there soldiers?
What?
Aren't there soldiers?
No, nobody's allowed to. I'm not saying Jews don't go there, but they're not supposed to. Here's a better picture. You see the Dome of the Rock over here. So either that's the Evan Shasia in there, or the Evan Shasia.
We're not allowed to go there because it's too kadosh, or because they rule it?
No, because we're not Torah.
And plus, Muslims don't allow Jews to go there if you're not Muslim.
But the Jewish policemen who are not from do go, right? But this is not. They're not supposed to go. So the Dome of the Spirits is this alternative where, as you can see, tourists go there. So that is possible where the Evan Shasia is if the Dome of the Rock is not it. Okay, so so again, let's get back to the first picture. Okay, so in this, if the Dome of the Rock is the Evan Shasia, then that's where the Kodesh Kodashim is, and that's how most people place it. If the Dome of the Winds is actually the Evan Shasia, so then it's going to be it's going to move further north, right? And they both
Every Beis HaMikdash, like a dome this, dome that.
What?
Like, there's so many different types of domes.
Is it true that that's where Muhammad went up, or like died, or whatever it is?
You mean the domes which are there today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like where they say Muhammad went up to heaven. Is that true? Or
No.
where he died?
No. It's true. Muhammad actually never left Saudi Arabia. They claim that he had a miraculous horse, Burak, which flew him in the middle of the night to Yerushalayim, and that when he came to Yerushalayim, he went up to heaven from the Evan Shasia. When he flew back.
Wait, the horse flew him?
Yeah.
What?
He's Eliyahu Hanavi.
That's their legend. The legend is that he flew with that horse.
But didn't Eliyahu Hanavi like go up in like a tornado or something?
No, it went up on horses.
In a Sa'ara Shemaima, Sa'ara we think means some sort of storm. Yes, maybe a tornado, but he went up in a chariot. Obviously,
because when I was learning Navi,
to a certain extent,
it says he went up in a whirlwind.
What? It doesn't say whirlwind. It says a storm. But the Muslims obviously copied our tradition of Elio, and they used it to explain Muhammad. The thing is that Muhammad didn't stay in Shemaim. It was just he once went up to heaven, then he came back down again. Okay, it was like a one-time deal. So wherever he went up they claim is in the Dome of the Rock. We don't know for sure. We don't think he ever went up anywhere. So, but that on that basis, most people have made the Beis HaMikdash models like this. And let's see the more famous.
Well, that's what the Bezer Beis Medrash is, no?
What?
The Bezer Beis Medrash.
Bezer Beis Medrash is nowhere near there.
Yeah, but isn't it supposed to be like I don't know, resemble it?
Yes, but it's not. It doesn't resemble it. It just has very slight similarities. So this is the well-known model in the in the Israel Museum. Used to be in the Holy Land Hotel. That's why it's called the Holy Land Model. And in this one, you see the Antonina Fortress is outside. It's not inside the area of the Beis HaMikdash. And the steps are coming up over here, and over here. And this is the Azara, where You're only allowed to if you're tahor. And there's the small fence over here, which was used in order to keep the non-Jews out of the area where they're forbidden to go. And the gate over here was not used except for Parah Adumah, for Yom Kippur, for the Soil Azazel. Only then was it open. And it was called Shar Shushan. It's called Shar Shushan because there was a picture of Shushan Abira drawn on it. And this is the gate, which today is called, although it's not the same gate, Shar HaRachamim, the gate of mercy, where there's a tradition that Moshiach will ultimately come. In this valley over here, now, there's a Muslim cemetery. The reason why the Muslims put a cemetery here is because the Muslims believe that, actually the Muslims have the same Masor we do, that Eliyahu Navi is a Kohen. And we know a Kohen can't come through a cemetery. So therefore, in a hope to prevent Mashiach coming, they made a whole Muslim cemetery over here to prevent Eliyahu Navi. Okay? I don't think that's going to prevent him from coming when the time comes, but that is the why they made that cemetery. So we don't know for sure that this is what Azara was. We've never excavated the Har HaBayis and never made archaeological excavations which definitively prove where any of these structures were. They might have been more over here. They might have been more over there. They might have been slightly this way, might have been slightly that way. And that's why even the people there who go up to the Har HaBayis, there's a very small area where they can go because they only can go places where they know that Zora didn't stand. Because no matter what you do, you're always going to be Tumei Mace. Tumas Mace nobody can ever take off, right? You take off other Tumas, but not Tumas Mace. And the Tumei Mace is not allowed to go into the Azora.
So are we allowed to go on Har Grizim?
Har Grizim?
The Samaritans think it was there.
Oh, the Samaritans don't seem to keep anybody from going there. They're once their Beis HaMikdash got ruined, a couple whenever that happened before our Beis HaMikdash, I don't think they keep people away from there. But I might be wrong. And even from our perspective, there's no Kedusha to Har Grizim.
Wait, don't a lot of people go there for Pesach or Pesach?
They do. I don't know if they're kept away from any place. They can go wherever they want. I really don't know. But they don't have a temple anymore. It was destroyed many years, even before the Beis HaMikdash.
The Samaritans?
Yeah.
Then who do? The Karaites?
The Samaritans go sacrifice Korban Pesach even though they don't have the Beis HaMikdash.
Oh.
Okay. We would also sacrifice Korban Pesach if we thought we were Tahor, but we're not. The Samaritans obviously don't have the same strictness, I don't know why not, of Tuman Tara that we have. Okay, so we're running out of time for today, but so I want to say about one other thing for today. And next we'll go to Beis HaMikdash more Azara. This place over here, we also in the other picture, was the place which Herod built for non-Jews to stand and look down at the Avodah in the Beis HaMikdash. It was just like a spectator stadium, and it was covered over, obviously, for protection from the sun, where people who were not Jewish would come, and I guess other people of importance who maybe were Tomei would come and look down and see what was going on in the Beis HaMikdash. Okay, so Herod built this whole thing, but this is what he built in order for there to be a viewing platform. We don't know that there are actually these pillars inside the Beis HaMikdash, but we know that this outside structure, which was the platform which the Beis HaMikdash was built, was immense. And the kosa, which we have today, which is on the other side, which is on this side, you can't see it from here. It's in this area over here. And this top area, which has had the pillars built into the wall, is not part of the kosa today. Kosa today consists of the lower retaining wall, like this, except on the other side. So all these things are things which were of course would have told us, we could identify them, what precisely the dimensions Beis HaMikdash were. And we do have on the southern section still remnants of the walls on all three sides. We don't have on the northern section any remnants of the wall. So we don't know where the northern section precisely ended. because that's where the main battles took place between the Romans and the Jews. And therefore, this entire wall, the Antina Fortress, was razed to the ground. So the Har Bayis is much longer on the north side than it was, much larger on the north side than it was at the time of the Beis HaMikdash. Because this wall is knocked down, they extend it out further. Okay, we have less than a minute left, so we'll stop here. I'll continue with this next week. And those who can make up a Shari Yoshi tomorrow, we'll do a Shari Yoshi tomorrow. Have a good night. Yes.
Don't
Right.
don't only Jewish bodies transmit tama?
What?
Don't only Jewish bodies transmit tama?
No, also non-Jewish bodies, just not non-Jewish grave. They're not Matame Ba'oil. You're not allowed to touch a non-Jewish grave, but if you make an oil over it, it's not Matame. So in fact, you are correct. Eliyahu Navi could come on a platform over the graves. I don't know if the Muslims do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.